It's Christmas Eve and Santa is on his way to deliver gifts to all the good boys and girls. You've been a good little type, right? You're doing okay in school and you only got into 3 fights this year. There was that one time you hid your mom's keys and she was late to work, but you did the dishes once this year, so that makes you good. Plus, Santa always comes. Then you hear it. The clip-clops of the reindeer on the roof, the bells of good old St. Nick's sleigh. You run downstairs to watch the fireplace so you can see him put your presents out. But then you notice the cold settling in as the air around you becomes increasingly more frigid. The smell of sulfur fills your nostrils. The chimney starts to crack and you hear a giant thud at the opening and soot flies out. As the soot settles and you regain your vision of the front room, you see him. Not Santa, but a giant beast standing on 2 goat legs, devil horns protruding from his head, a sack moving, screaming, and crying on his back, the thorn bush he holds in his hand. Krampus is here to punish the naughty.
Podcast. I'm Matt.
I'm Cody.
And today we're here to remind you that Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. We gotta do one before we close out the year.
Oh my god, I love those memes so much.
We gotta do one dickish one.
So much.
Well, I guess it's not really dickish, but you know what I mean.
We had to do one trendy thing.
We had to do one trendy thing. We
and
had to
I
do
think
it.
the fact of to keep spreading around the fact that everyone's covering up this murder and no one wants to touch on it. I think keeping it alive with memes is pretty great.
We did good.
Yeah.
I think we could kind of just end this episode there.
Yeah, we're good. All
right.
See you guys next year.
Keep up with us on Facebook at Punkrockhorrorpodcast. And no, I'm kidding. And we're back again.
Yeah.
So fun weekend. Fun Friendsgiving.
Yeah.
Before we go any forward, I do have to say this and give a huge apology out to Crystal over at Horror Nights Inn. This episode she was supposed to be guest appearing on, but wasn't able to, and it's my fault is the reason why. When I set up the time for us to meet up and call, I didn't account for daylight savings ending by the time she'd be coming on, and I put the wrong time on our end. And she was on right when she was supposed to be. We were off, and
we totally slept through it.
Yeah, and it was completely by accident. I reached out to her and apologized profusely, and she's so sweet and very understanding about it. So she's going to be coming back on in January instead. So that's why you're not going to hear her today. It's just a complete and total mistake on my end, and honestly,
you're just stuck with us.
And really, we could have just kind of just panned over it and just said, loss of audio happened, but that wouldn't be the truth. And so I just wanted to keep it very transparent with all you listeners and just explain that it was a mistake, and now I know for the future. And it's the first time something like this has ever really happened to us, and so
I would say it's a second.
No, because the first
we messed up on a band interview and couldn't do the band interview because of it.
No, it was also a mess up on their end too.
Yeah,
but that was a little different.
Time zones suck. Is basically what we're saying.
That was a little different though. We still support them and they still support us.
Yeah, they're still totally dope. They're super dope.
But so it's just a big mistake, and so
we're sorry.
Yeah, I don't want to hang any more on it. Again, I already apologized to Crystal, but I also apologize to all the listeners and Horror Nights Inn listeners who are really looking forward to this. I apologize, and again, January we will have Crystal come on, and it'll be an awesome episode. Yeah. So, that being said, let's go ahead and jump into what's happening in horror this week, and kind of touch on what's happening in horror for the last of the year.
Yeah.
So, it's a mixed bag of news. Some is good, some of it is kind of eh. But let's start off with an article from John Squires, which, by the way, we are getting all these sources from bloodydisgusting.com. They do not sponsor the show. We are just citing our sources. So, this is from John Squires. Blumhouse's Black Christmas will be the first Black Christmas with a movie rating of PG-13. Blumhouse and director Sophia Takal's new take on Black Christmas will be the third, in quotations, horror movie released with that title, and the second remake of Bob Clark's slasher classic. Both the 1974 original and 2006 remake were released with the strong R ratings, but Bloody Disgusting has learned that today that Takal's Black Christmas is going to be a little bit softer with all the holiday horror. Quoting and saying, violence, terror, thematic content involving sexual assault, language, sexual material, and drinking. In the film, Hawthorne College is quieting down for the holidays. One by one, sorority girls on campus are being killed by an unknown stalker.
Sorority ghouls?
Girls, sorry.
They're ghouls!
They're ghouls.
That's the twist. They're all zombies.
But the killer is about to discover that this generation's young women aren't willing to help become hapless victims as they mount a fight to the finish. I mean, I don't know. I know you're kind of not real excited about Black Christmas getting that type of rating.
No.
But I know horror can be good with a PG-13 rating. And,
yeah.
And I don't know, man. I feel like Black Christmas is kind of one of those few movies, like, in the horror genre where, like, a very specific set of people still like them and still make the case for them. I know I like them. I think they're really cool holiday horror movies. But I don't know. I feel like this might be a good way to introduce it to a younger generation.
I don't know, man. I feel like if a movie gets 3 remakes, it's kind of like...
Right.
Just leave it alone at that point.
Well, but...
I don't know. Not only that, but also, like, taking both other remakes were rated R, and then jot it down to PG-13. I'm kind of just like, why not just go for the R? Like, I guess I kind of understand where they want to try and get a bigger audience, and I feel like there's they're trying to bring back the teen movies,
the
you know
teen
what I
slashers,
mean? Yeah, teen slashers and stuff, just because that hasn't been a thing for a while.
Yeah, I don't know,
Except for Happy Death Day. God, I still...
Just let it go.
I know.
Let it go.
I know.
It still exists.
I'll get there.
Eventually. But, yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, we'll see. I kind of feel like this might be the chance for Black Christmas to finally catch the popularity that it's always so well deserved.
I mean, I could be wrong. I was wrong about Child's Play.
Definitely a situation where we would rather be wrong than right.
Yeah. I mean, for all I know, it's going to be awesome. And it's like, you can go fuck yourself, Cody.
Right.
And they're like, all right.
We'll see. Also in news from Mike Wilson, Ben Studio wants to expand Days Gone universe, including a sequel. Sony and Ben Studios' open world zombie epic Days Gone impressed so many people that it has earned them a couple of awards at the Golden Joysticks. Despite not being what it could have been, though, Ben Studio are still working on to give more fans the possibility of a sequel. Speaking in an interview with Games Radar, Ben Studios' Chris Reese shared a bit more insight on the studio's outlook on Days Gone after its release. When asked about it, he said, "It's certainly a passion of ours, and that's what we've always wanted to do. This is a world that we want to keep breathing more life into and explore many, many different avenues. So who knows? We'll see." So, I mean, I know that also came out to definitely cult praise.
Yeah.
I know people really kind of loved it for the aspect of survival that they put in for keeping your motorcycle alive.
I mean, it's definitely a game where it has really cool aspects and really cool things, but then I think it's just mostly it came out. I feel like if it was the first Sony release, exclusive, it would have done a lot better.
It did come out pretty late in the game.
Yeah, it came out late. Not only that, it also came out during the big zombie fatigue, huge zombie fatigue in people. I know that's already been a thing, but I feel like when it came out, it was just huge.
I don't think it came out during the zombie fatigue, but I think it came out when people are still recovering from it. Because I feel like The Last of Us gets the exception because of its storytelling, and
storytelling and the fact that it does a really good job of showing the zombies aren't the greatest monster you can deal with.
Yeah.
So, and it just I guess with Days Gone, it was just a little too generic. Also, it didn't push as much story boundaries as people were hoping. Even though, I mean, there's only so much story boundaries you can touch with a biker.
Well,
You know what I mean?
we'll see, man. Maybe with with the sequel, it'll be enough to kind of expand on what they've already started.
Yeah, I mean, I'm totally down to like actually if I get a chance to actually play it. Like, I'm not shitting on it.
No,
That's
for
just
sure.
from what I've heard. But I've also heard like great things about it. Like the flow of the zombie stuff is actually pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
With like, you know, how you could lure zombies into a camp and have them take out all the people, and then you could take them out and stuff like that. Or just like, it's a little bit more technical, which is nice for a third person action game, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
So we'll see. So stay hopeful. Fans.
I mean, The Evil Within got a sequel and it didn't sell well at all.
Yeah.
And even though those are fantastic games.
Right. So,
fantastic.
In other news from John Squires, 3 more actors have joined Hulu's feature film adaptation of Clive Barker's Books of Blood, which we covered recently in October. Announced last month, Brandon Braga of The Orville is still set to direct a feature film adaptation of Clive Barker's Books of Blood for Hulu, pulled from the 6 volumes of the original Baker stories that were Barker stories that were published in the mid-'80s. Braga is also co-writing and executive producing the film with Seth MacFarlane on board to executive produce alongside him. And we learned today that Casting News has been reporting as with Andy McQueen from Fahrenheit 451, Freda Fo-Shen from Ad Astra, and Nicholas Campbell from Da Vinci's Inquest have signed on to the project. It's going to be pretty... I don't know. We'll see how it goes, man. I feel like this might be the sleeper hit that Hulu needs to actually stand out with
I could see that, because Castle movie. Rock definitely didn't do as good as they were hoping.
Yeah, it's still very, like, culty right now.
I want to try and give it a shot. I've heard some good things about it.
It's pretty slow, man. I'm not going to lie.
Is it?
Well, the first episode is. I have to give it more of a chance, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But we'll see, man. I mean, I'm just kind of excited to see what this looks like.
You need to hop on though.
What?
Daybreak.
I watched the first episode and I wasn't a fan.
Really? You should give it another shot. It's pretty good.
I'll try to give it
it's pretty predictable, but I'm fucking enjoying it. It's pretty it gets pretty good.
Okay, I'll try to give it another try, man. But right now, I'm just struggling with it because it's a little too campy for me.
Yeah, I mean, the campiness doesn't go away.
Right.
But it definitely tones down a little bit.
So, like, I don't know. And just, like... It sounds like kind of a jab, but I feel like some of the acting comes off a little too try hard. But then again, I feel like that's... I don't know if... maybe it's like what you said. Maybe I'm not giving it enough of a chance.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta understand, it's kind of like... It's the zombie version of, like...
The Breakfast Club?
No. What the fuck was that? The kid... It's like the kid-ish movies. It's kind of like a Twilight-esque.
Yeah. With
the campiness, and like
right.
It's kind of aimed more towards the like preteens-esque, because like I found the books.
Yeah.
And they're based off of children books.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
But then they like just ramped up the gore.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Well, in other news, John Squires also has reported that Ryan Murphy teases star-studded American Horror Story season 10 could be the final season to appear on FX. As reported, with the ninth
final season,
it should be probably with the 9th season wrapped up. It's time to look ahead to the future of American Horror Story, and the 10th season has indeed been contracted by FX and will likely arrive late next year. It will be a while before we know much of anything is said about season 10, even talking about the theme. But in the chat with Ryan Murphy, he did release some teasers and was quoted saying, "We're working on an idea for season 10 that I think people will love, because it's about reuniting fan favorite actors to come back, because it might be our last season," Murphy told the site. He explained, "It's the last season we have contracted, so I've been quietly reaching out to various people. Some people I haven't reached out to yet, because I was like, do I have a role for them? So far, everybody I reached out to said yes, so that's been great." Murphy has also said about who is coming back, it's still too soon to tell. He does add, however, that the people who helped build the show into what it is who believed in it from the beginning have been contacted and are interested. So, for all of you American Horror Story fans out there, I know 1984 has kind of gotten a lot of flack. And is probably one of I don't know, man. I feel like every single season is the most like controversial season among fans.
You know what's funny is that because I totally forgot that Cult and Roanoke exists.
Yeah.
Because I remembered I feel like those 2 seasons everyone just stopped talking about it, and then Apocalypse showed up.
Dude, I just feel like the series keeps coming out with seasons fucking.
What it needed to do was stop at 7, because the theme was that it turned out that it was all about the 7 deadly sins. Each season was about a sin.
Yeah.
And so they should have stopped at 7 with Apocalypse, and that's what everyone thought they were going to do. But then obviously they're going to 10.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I just feel like they teach you just. I feel like there's only a 3-month period between each season, and
that's what it felt like.
I know it's probably not that, but I'm just did it I think Roanoke was the last one. I was didn't Roanoke just come out? No. I don't know, man. We'll see. 1984 is again, each season I feel is the most controversial, and maybe it is time for it to finally end.
Just like The Walking Dead.
Just like The Walking Dead, which is supposed to end after season 12, but we're not going to report on that.
Yeah, who fucking knows?
That's kind of dead. And lastly, in horror news for this week, Ryan Murphy says cast of Scream Queens is all in for a revival and is urging
That's
fans...
exciting.
Well, and here's the thing. If you are a fan of this series, he is urging you to write to Fox and to tell them that you guys want it. So, in an article, cool. After 2 seasons that aired between September 2015 and December 2016, the Ryan Murphy created slasher comedy series Scream Queens was axed by Fox back in 2017. And while there was once in a time when a show's cancellation meant that was never coming back, that isn't exactly the case anymore. So, what are the chances that Scream Queens...
Beverly Hills 90210 came back, Dawson's Creek came back...
Well,
all that shit came back.
So, speaking with Deadline this week, Murphy noted that while the ball is entirely in Fox's court, he and the main cast of the series would jump at the chance to bring it back to life. And I was quoted saying, "I would have to say the answer to that lies in the studio who made it," Murphy told the site. Emma Roberts says she would do it. Leah Michelle said she would do it. Jamie Lee Curtis, Abigail Breslin, and Billy Lord are all in. So it would depend on if Fox wants to do it. I think we'd all do it too. I think we're all waiting for them to call us. Murphy did continue to say, "I know the show's very popular and it had a real spike in popularity on Hulu. That was another one we were making it or marketing it towards to making it. I do not know if time has caught up to it or it takes a while for people to get things, but yes, I'd be up for it. The fans should write Fox and say they want this, Fox Studios and the network." So, basically, Ryan Murphy is throwing it to the power of the fans at this point, in much of the way that Veronica Mars happened, where that popularity came out for the series.
That came out of nowhere.
Because fans basically demanded for it. So, I mean, there's possibility, there's a chance that Scream Queens can come back and we can get this beloved series back. I know I've always wanted to give it a try. I just haven't, I honestly keep forgetting to.
Yeah.
It's not like a slide or anything. I just do. But, if you want to see more Scream Queens and you want this to come back, follow what Ryan Murphy says, write out to Fox and the network and be like, hey.
I think it's kind of funny that you, of all people, haven't watched Scream Queens yet.
I don't know what it is, man.
It's just because you're usually into that kind of off the wall horror stuff that kind of come out of nowhere,
right?
I mean,
I feel like
the shadows.
I feel like I confused Scream Queens with another show. There was a horror show that came out at that time, and I didn't want to watch it.
Was it the scared one where they put people into random things and then they try and scare them in their own personal haunted house type thing?
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
Super campy, super campy.
Possibly.
Because it came out around that time, that show, and then also the makeup show, the special effects makeup show.
Oh, I don't know, dude. Honestly, I don't remember what it was. But we'll see, man. I mean,
Fair enough.
there's excitement everywhere around with horror going on. I mean, these are pretty cool things to know about, and yeah. So that's what's happening in horror. Again, thanks goes out to Bloody Disgusting. This is where we got all these sources. If you want to read more, I encourage you to go to bloodydisgusting.com and check them out if you haven't already. And again, Bloody Disgusting, if you hear us, we would love to, get sponsored by you, or at least come on and talk on your podcast.
Yeah,
I'm gonna mention it. I'm just gonna keep mentioning it. Just hoping that someone hears it.
Just please, for the love of God, just have it happen.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Today we have a couple listener participation corners, and we are talking about specific lores behind holiday horror monsters. Much in the same of what we did 2 weeks ago, where we talked about holiday horror, we now have decided to actually jump into and talk about the lore behind specific monsters. So obviously things like Krampus, but a lot of other monsters who have names that are kind of hard to pronounce, but we're going to give it our best chance and effort anyways, because
it's mostly German, so
yeah,
I'll try and do my best.
It's definitely mostly German, and like the cat one, the terrifying cat one is the one that I'm really nervous about trying to pronounce, and I'm just really glad that's on Facebook and that's your realm. So
I know.
So on our Twitter, as we just stated, this weekend we are talking about 3 monsters whose lore is centered around holidays, i.e. Krampus. So we want to know, what is your favorite horror holiday monster and why? Comment below and we will read it on Monday's episode. From William Schubert at Better Brains B, he commented Gremlins and Krampus, which I feel is a cop-out, but I will give it to you, sir. And also from Antoinette and Fox at Antoinette Fox, or Fox Knee. Sorry, I always forget there's a Y in the end. Interesting. I only heard Krampus first on American Dad, Minstrel Krampus. To which
that's such a good episode.
To which I replied to her a gif of woman. I'm assuming it's a woman in a Krampus costume walking down. What is it? Runway, and doing a weird dance, and I'm like, this is what I imagine what a minstrel Krampus would look like. So, and she liked it. So there, not much. There was not too many responses on this one. So, which I'm not too surprised by, because there is, holiday horror monsters is kind of not the most popular if it's not Belsnickel or Krampus.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, anyways, Cody, what do we got over on the Facebook?
All right. Well, Kat. Funny enough, like the Yule Cat.
The irony.
She said, I love the Yola Koturin, a.k.a. the Yule Cat. You know what? I'm going to pat myself on the back.
Good job, Cody.
Whether it was right or wrong.
We might as well just end the episode here. It's not going to get any better than this.
All right, bye. That's I can fake it. But the Yule Cat is an Icelandic tale that dates back to the Dark Ages, but was officially written about sometime in the 19th century. The tale is that well-behaved children who finished their chores before Christmas were given new clothes. The lazy children who did not finish their chores had to face the man-eating Yule Cat. The Yule Cat is not a small, adorable kitten, clearly since it eats people. It is a huge freaking cat that towers above the tallest houses, peering into windows to see if the children have received their new clothes. If they have, the Yola Kutuden moves on to the next house. If not, it not only eats the child, but the Christmas dinner as well. Yeah, that's my dinner. And then our buddy James said Belschnickel, a lesser known companion of Krampus sometimes. He splits open a bag of sweets, and as children are scrambling around, he beats them all with a switch, regardless of them being naughty or nice. I like him because he doesn't discriminate.
I posted that on our Instagram. That was my favorite one that I read.
Because I'm just imagining James's voice going, I like him because he doesn't discriminate.
He's a very progressive monster. It's 2019.
Yes, he's like, yo, were you good? Yeah. Thwap! Why aren't you in bed? Hey, were you naughty? Yes. Thwap! Do better! Do be gooder. Okay, just be gooder.
Be gooder. And then that's what I don't think gooder is a word. Thwap!
That was just because you were being good about correcting my pronunciations of things. Be better. Thwap! But you're still bad, and why aren't you in bed yet?
It seems less of the terrifying one and just more of a douche.
Yeah, he's just a dick.
He's just like he throws out candy and it's like only like black or licorice and like candy corn.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, mate. There's the one kid who actually likes that. He goes, Thwack, you need better tasting candy.
But I like candy corn, it's really good. Thwack! Anyone who says they like candy corn is secretly lying to themselves because they don't like how people hate candy corn. And I mean that too.
Thwap! You're just trying to be a hipster.
I'm calling people out. Candy corn, anything that tastes like wax is fucking gross. Like, I just feel like I don't even know how to pronounce the candy company's name. Is it like Brox or Breaks? Brox?
I don't know.
It's like Brach. Whatever, I don't give a shit. I don't like their candy. Point being is that I just feel like they accidentally like spilled like wax over what would have been the good candy. And they're like, oh my god, this is so unbearably chewy and chalky that it has almost no taste. We should definitely sell these to people. I guarantee anyone would want to eat them.
Because originally they created the best candy recipe in the world. And then some jerk accidentally spilled wax into the machine. And they're like, oh, this is actually a lot cheaper to make. Let's just make it like this.
Like, it's the best candy. Like, no one's ever going to know what it is because it was the best.
Yep.
It's one of those tales.
Yep. God damn it.
So, candy corn's just gross.
And you know what makes me even more mad is like, you know the reason they call it candy corn? And it shows like that picture of that someone putting it together to make it look like a corn on the cob.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there thinking to myself like, man, either you had a lot of time and a lot of candy corn on your hands, or if you're just a sick, sadistic person, because you probably like stuck it on something so you can eat it like a fucking piece of corn.
Right.
Like he probably was a dad that took a dad joke way too far.
It just tastes like shitty sugar.
I know.
Like, and also, I'd like to point out, I feel like everyone that hates on fucking candy corn is also the same bastards that like to hate on pineapple on pizza and make a deal about it. Like, you need to calm the fuck down. It's just fruit. It's not, like, if there was ever, like, a sign of the obesity epidemic in our nation, it's definitely the fact that we got mad at fruit on pizza. Whoa, keep that far away from my greased up, diabetic triangles of death.
You need to simmer down, sir.
I'm just saying, man. Like, I will defend pineapple pizza.
I feel like there's, like, other things that you could blame on the obesity epidemic than pineapple on pizza. What if they just don't like citrus? Then we might have more of a scurvy epidemic, but
that's different. That is different. I would accept that. I would accept the fact that somebody's like, actually, I'm allergic to pineapple, or actually, the citrus upsets my tummy, or something like that. Then I'd be like, okay, well, that's fair. Whatever. Like, don't eat food that's gonna, like, make you sick. But if you're just that dude who's just like, oh, pineapple, for shame. Like, fuck off.
For shame.
I don't know, man. That's such a weird thing for me to be mad about.
A little bit.
It's not gonna stop me from eating it.
I mean, I don't like pineapple on pizza.
I know, but you don't make a deal about it.
Just to Lauren.
She doesn't like it either.
I know, but I like arguing with Lauren about it.
I argue
Even though we both don't like it on there, I'm just like, oh yeah, let's get that Hawaiian pizza up in here. And then when she has her back turned, I'm gonna quickly pick off all the pineapple off my pizza.
Yeah.
Yep.
There was a hot moment in like our relationship where like whenever I'd get mad at her, I would, instead of like doing passive aggressive things that like are like would be like annoying, I would do things that are subtly passive aggressive that she didn't catch on to. And one of the things I would do is just order pizza with things she doesn't want to eat. And I always did it when I didn't want to share.
You're like, you know what, I don't want to share my pizza tonight.
Yeah.
Pineapple.
Yeah. Like,
even if you weren't feeling pineapple on the pizza, you'd still order it.
Yeah, if I was just like annoyed at her for whatever reason, like I would just be like, yeah, we'll get fucking ham and pineapple again tonight.
This is the third time in a row. Well, I really like it. Okay.
I got her to a breaking point about it, and she's like, just cheese. Just when in doubt, just order cheese. if you don't know for sure, and I'm like, I'm sorry, like I guess I keep forgetting. And truthfully, there was actually a few times I legitimately forgot. But like more often than that, I was just like, I don't want to share.
I want my own pizza.
So here you go. So like I would order her like cheese and like half cheese and whatever else like for her and Aaron, and then I would just like get myself a small like pineapple. Yeah, and because she was a fiend for stealing my food. So I'm like, if you're really gonna steal my food, then you're gonna steal.
You're gonna earn it.
So I think I actually went as far as once to do mushroom, pineapple, and ham.
Oh my god!
To just prove a point.
Did she steal it?
No, she was like, ew, this is so gross. Like, I put so many things on the pizza that it was too much of a chore to pick it off. Like, that's how you get the upper hand.
Nice.
Like, I made it really clear between the two of us that, I give her a 3-check system. Like, she gets 3 checks, 3 strikes to choose somewhere to go eat.
Yeah.
And so, like, if she doesn't pick on the third one, then it's fucking pineapple pizza. So, she knows what's at stake.
You better hurry.
Like, I will go anywhere. Just stick to a choice.
No, that's not how it works.
Unless it's Qdoba or Chipotle. Both of them are disgusting.
So, okay. Alright. I mean, I like Qdoba, so...
It tastes like plastic.
I don't think so. I think it tastes fine.
But that's... Okay. Well, that's just me.
Well, I'm not going to take you to Qdoba. So
thank you. I appreciate you doing that.
No problem.
I appreciate that. Thank you for being considerate and not taking me to Qdoba.
I mean, I would rather go to Fuzzies anyways.
Yeah, so. I'd rather go to Fuzzies too.
Fuzzies is dope.
They actually taste good. They don't taste like plastic.
Yeah, especially the breakfast burritos.
I don't remember if I ever had one of their breakfast burritos.
I don't know.
Anyways.
We should probably dive into this lore.
I know. I feel like we're taking too much of a page out of Two Girls on a Bench podcast. It's talking too much about food. Even though when they do it, like, that's definitely like healthier foods.
We're talking about
like really
breakfast burritos,
like big stuff with like cheese and sodium.
I mean, to be fair, we are kind of in food comas too right now. We ate a lot of food.
There's a lot of ham.
There's a lot of drunken ham.
We hammed it up.
Oh, I love that ham. I love my recipe.
I tried cutting the ham and it sprayed whiskey at my face. It was still hot.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
It's okay. It was my fault. I shouldn't have been doing it with one hand.
Ham in the hand.
It was ham in the hand and the ham. It was ham in the house, ham in the ham.
Alright, well, speaking of holiday ham.
Enough food aside.
Yeah, now food aside. We're talking about some lores. Some deep Christmas lores. And what better way to start off than with Sinterklaas, also the fat jolly man Santa Claus.
That was mine.
Yeah, that was your movie.
Yeah.
So, I'm just going to be reading directly off of the article. So the article I'm going to be reading off of is from morbidlybeautiful.com/creepy-christmas/ I'm just saying that because I really don't want to find his name in this. Anyways, so you might be wondering why it's off of the list is off of, what's the name of the list?
Is it the list?
Creepy Christmas lore. That's what it's called. And it doesn't say who it was posted by. But it's posted in December 24th, 2016. So just go Creepy Christmas Lore, morbidlybeautiful.com if you want to read the article.
Do it.
Anyways, so we're talking about Sinterklaas and Santa Claus. So the article goes, you might be wondering why this list of creepy lore begins with possibly the friendliest, most benign sign of Christmas, a man who is generally beloved by children for bringing gifts once a year. Saint Nicholas, a real person, was the origin for Santa Claus, which I thought was kind of cool, and all of his previous iterations. I feel like I kind of knew that. Like, I knew he was based off an actual saint.
Right.
But it's always, like, kind of cool to be reassured about it. So the feast day for Saint Nicholas was December 6th, which was then moved to December 25th by a pope who had to Christianize the pagan celebrations happening that time of year. The fucking Pope. God damn it. Anyways, when more European countries started to convert to Protestantism, the popularity of St. Nicholas fell, but Holland kept the traditions with their character Sinterklaas. This Dutch character punishes bad children around Christmas time by beating them with a single switch or a bunch of sticks. He is accompanied by the now controversial Svarte Piet, which translates to Black Peter. You guys will learn more about him in Matt's movie.
It's definitely not racist.
No, not at all. Svarte Piet acts as a companion to Sinterklaas, hiding and listening to figure out which children are good and which are bad. However, his character is considered racist and offensive by many, and the continuing practice of blackface in terms of the character has led to a lot of discussion and some protesting in both Holland and elsewhere. Sinterklaas was brought to the U.S. by the Dutch, eventually leading to the character we know as Santa Claus. He may seem jolly, but there are dark undertones to the character. Not only does he watch children as they sleep, but he purposely waits until everyone is asleep to sneak into their homes once a year. It's hard to argue that none of that is at least a little bit creepy.
You know, I mean, we've always made jokes about it, and I think this now proves the point that everyone told us to stop making jokes about Santa Claus being a creeper was in fact wrong.
Yeah.
So
the original Santa Claus used to beat children with switches and sticks, or he'd break into your house and leave you candy.
So on the scoreboard of times Punk Rock Horror Podcast has been right versus wrong, I can now say we're back in the positive.
Yay!
Yay!
Because Santa's creepy. No, but I do think that's funny, like, thinking about that Santa Claus was an actual person.
Yeah.
And the celebration of him got switched to a different date because the Pope was like, no, we gotta do it Christian-wise.
What are you telling me? Big religious factors and factions haven't ever influenced modern history or even prior history?
Never at all.
Are you telling me they don't have any sort of influence on business?
No.
Thank God we follow the separation of church and state.
Thank God the churches get taxed.
Thank God that we live in a perfect world. Oh, wait.
No, it's just funny, like, always, like, bringing up, like, oh, so the original date for this was then, but then, Christians came through and had to change it.
Yeah.
Like, we want to celebrate it, but we want to celebrate it on this date. And they were like, why? I don't know, it sounds good.
Because God commands it?
I guess.
I don't know, man. Like, that, I mean, I'm just, at that point, I'm just kind of doing a slight jab.
I know. So let's switch over to another Christmas ladle. I don't know how to say the lass. This
loss.
Christmas loss. So her name is Grilla, and Grilla is a troll or giantess of Icelandic folklore who lives in the mountains with her third husband, Leopold. Leopold.
Is it Leopold?
Lepaloi. I'm just going to go with that. Lepaloi. She is said to be able to detect misbehaving children year-round, and she comes down from the mountain whenever she is hungry to hunt for children. They're her favorite snack, and her favorite meal is a stew made of naughty children. Grilla and Lepoli, you're Lepoli now, are the parents of the Yolas Vanar, or the Yule Lads, of which there are 13. We talked about. You'll hear more about this on the next episode.
13 lads and counting.
I mean, I did go in depth about the Yule Lads.
13
a little bit.
Yule Lads and
counting. I named all of them.
Yeah.
Each one of them visits in the 13 days. Oh no, I didn't. This was just on a conversation I had with you.
Yeah, thanks.
I didn't talk about it. Never mind. Anyway, so each one of them visits in the 13 days leading up to Christmas to leave treats for the good kids and rotten food for the bad kids. Grilla did not become associated with the Christmas tradition until the creation of the Yule Lads in the 17th century, and in the past they were much more menacing like their mother. Each Yule Lad has a name depicting the actions he takes while he is in town leaving things for the children, which usually have to do with making a lot of noise or stealing things. However, they used to range from simple mischievous pranksters to lads that ate children, just like Grilla. The current day version of the Yule Lads is much more tame and less threatening, which is a little disappointing. But yeah. So, cool thing about Grilla, also, which I really like.
She didn't need no man.
No, she is the owner of the Yule Cat, which is Cat's favorite
cat. Repetition.
Yeah. So, just a quick little thing about her. A little bit more about the cat. Grila's monstrous feline stalks the countryside, eating up anyone not wearing new clothes on Christmas Eve. That sounds rather classist, but legend has it that wool farmers used to invoke Yolai Kuturin as a way to scare workers into quickly processing the autumn wool before the holidays. Quick workers would get new clothes as gifts, slow ones would just get eaten. In alternate versions, the cat merely eats people's food, which is totally something a cat would do. So yeah, I think that it's pretty cool with that. And also just the fact that, like, it's cool when I'm researching these, like, finding out the different, like, how each legend translates and how they get changed.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's pretty rad, man.
I think so, too. And, see?
Yeah.
There's a picture of Black Peter.
Yeah, Black Peter is pretty bad. And it's legitimate blackface. It's just blackface and red lips. I mean, it's kind of hard not to feel that it's racist. I mean, like I already say, you'll hear in Friday's episode, but, like, I'm pretty sure that they just make the excuse for it basically being that because Black Peter would jump down the chimneys, so it's like the soot and dirt and like all that sticking to his face, which makes his face black.
Yeah.
But even if that was the case, it doesn't explain why his lips would be so red. Like when he like fall down the chimney and like his lips just like grind on the brick as he goes. Like I don't know. Would he just jump down and like drink some like cherry Kool-Aid? Because then if that's the case, then it comes back to what I'm saying about being at a racist thing.
Yeah,
like,
there's no need for the red lips. Is his lips bleeding because he's kissing the chimney on the way down?
Is that what he's doing?
He's just puckering up like it's actually blood.
Is his lips supposed to be really? I don't know, because if his lips are really cold, then it would be like purple. Yeah, like red, like a purple blue kind of like. I feel like I don't
know, man.
Like
I just think
like just why are they red? Like there's nothing to explain why. I could understand the face if it was like his entire face was like a whole black.
Or
mask.
It's like the lipstick demon from Insidious, where there's black and red like mixed throughout his face. Yeah, you know, because that makes sense. His face got all scratched up on the way down the chimney.
Right. I just don't like. Yeah. Like, did he just, like, do they all have just, like, jars of maraschino cherries that they carry with them? And are just, like, fat pieces of shit that just, like, I mean, and I only say that as I'm self-projecting because I've been one of those people that has eaten the jars of maraschino cherries as is. And if you want to know what it's like for your mouth to go numb on corn syrup or anything like that, go that route. And you'll remember it for the rest of your life.
Okay. Yeah.
So, I don't know, man. I still don't understand it.
I don't either, man. I don't get it. I don't get the whole point behind blackface in the first place.
Because
it's just stupid.
Because America's not the most... You know, that's an entirely different...
That's a whole other...
That's a whole different episode.
That's a whole little bag of garbage we don't want to open up.
Look, you know about history at this point. I mean, we don't have the best one, so...
Yeah. All right, but someone who does have some kind of cool history is Belschnickel. James's favorite.
The one that does not discriminate.
No, because here's a cool thing: is that Belschnickel is actually a different interpretation of another person called Knecht Ruprecht.
Oh, I thought it was going to be 4.
No. One person.
So
some
4.
Yeah. You know what? I'm done with this.
Sorry.
Anyways, so Knecht Ruprecht is sometimes depicted as looking like Krampus, while other times he's closer to the man behind the Winkies in Mulholland Drive. Aaron's gonna love that fact. Because Mulholland Drive was another Stephen Lynch movie.
Yeah.
Yep. So Knecht Ruprecht is Saint Nick's most familiar attendant in German myth. Depending on the story you've heard, he either was originally a farmhand or, this is the favorite of the person who wrote the article, a feral child Santa discovered and raised from childhood. He's a real stickler for prayer. According to legend, he asks if children can pray. If they can, they get apples, nuts, and gingerbread. Yay! But if they can't, they get a womp with a sack of ashes. But if you're truly bad, look out. In the Austrian version of the myth, the worst children are beaten with birch branches, then stuffed in a sack and thrown into an icy river. Fun fact, in the German version of The Simpsons, their pet, Greyhound Santa's Little Helper, is named after Knecht Ruprecht.
What like weird like German's Idol like esque show is this? Like if you can pray, you pass? Like is it a contest? Is it like because I imagine like just Simon Cowell just like sitting out there and be like, your praying is absolute shit.
Knecht Ruprecht.
I wish
get your bag of ashes.
I wish you could have prayed for a better prayer. Like is it just like and then Bill Stickles just like I have to agree with him.
He's wham.
Just thwack.
Yeah. So
like that's just so weird. Like what would define like you can't pray? Like
no, you have to pray.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
like
another thing.
What does he mean? But like why would you not be able to?
No, it's basically like the legend was to scare children to always pray.
No, I get that, but that's what
I'm saying.
But
like, no, it's saying that he'll come around
right.
and he'll know if you haven't prayed to Jesus.
Right.
And
no,
he's going to thwump you in the head with a bag
I guess
of
the way
ashes.
it's just written is like, if you can't pray.
Yeah.
Like, really convenient night that you can't pray. Like,
well, I feel like it's because, like, that's what Audrey does when she doesn't want to do something or she doesn't feel like it. She just goes, I can't! I could just imagine it's because some kid was just looking at his parents was like, they're like, make sure you pray tonight. And he goes, I can't! And, like, did some weird thing with his hand so he couldn't do it just because. He's like, look at my hands! Like, if you don't connect, Rupesh is going to be showing up tonight. And he's like, and he looks at him like, who the like the kid looks at him like, who the fuck is that? You've never said that name before. I'm just waiting for Sinterklaas. And they're like, no, if you don't pray, you don't get visited by Sinterklaas. You get visited by Knecht Ruprecht, who's gonna beat the shit out of you with the bag of ashes that you didn't take to the garbage.
It's just the way that article was just written. It's just like, if you can't,
yeah,
like. Oh my god, that was the best prayer I have ever heard.
Now you get gingerbread nuts and berries.
You are going on to Hollywood.
No, it would be Hollywood.
Hollywood. And then it comes out with an album. It's Hans and the Littlest Prayer. And it shows him like on the front, like in like a rapper-esque kind of style.
But he's just praying.
With like with like a bandana kind of like coming down like with like the perked up lips and everything.
Oh my god.
Like follow-up sophomore album, In Jesus' Name.
We pray. And the top of the song is Fuck You, Knecht Ruprecht. But the reason why I want to talk about him is because Belschnickel is another one of German Santa's creepy friends. Scholars think that Belschnickel is based on the myth of Knecht Ruprecht, but there are a few differences. The Belschnickel visits alone rather than being Santa's servant. In some versions of the myth, Belschnickel brings Krampus with him. Unlike Knecht Ruprecht, though, he doesn't particularly care whether or not you've been good. He has a sack of treats that he spills out for the kids, but then as they scramble for the gifts, he whips them with a switch, naughty and nice alike. So he's basically like, oh man, I hope no one wants some free candy. Stands there with a stick, like waiting. And like, there's all the kids like around the corner, like, alright, he can't get all of us, okay? If we all team together and pick up all the pieces, just grab as much as you can, we can all split this evenly at the end.
He can't stop all of us.
He can't stop all of us. And they're just, scatter! And he's just like, you party kids.
It's just like, and he's just like a fucking like pig wrestler, but instead he's a kid wrestler. He's like, oh, I'm going to get him!
Go get him! Yeah, from South Park.
Where like he's trying to get Eric hurt. And he's just Eric's running around all naked and squealing.
Yeah, he's like, oh, you slippery one there.
Oh, go get him!
Oh my god, that's so great.
I now see why James likes Belschnickel. It's just such great material.
He's just standing there in the corner with a switch, like, go and get that candy. Now I'm gonna beat the shit out of all of them.
Like he's just like licking his lips, like as they're reaching closer to the candy. He's like, and it's like as soon as they touch it, thwack.
Oh, that'd be great. Oh, so good. Alright, so we are getting close to the end, but I wanted to save the good and meaty for the end of this.
But first, any honorable mentions?
A couple honorable mentions. The Grinch is actually
Considered
a Christmas monster. He is a monster.
Yeah.
And then there's the Gremlins. And then I'll talk a little bit more about them, but the Changelings are also one. A couple honorable mentions. I feel like those are some good ones.
Yeah, definitely.
So
I also like that. I know people are going to argue about the Grinch, but I mean, really think about it. He kind of punished the whole town.
Yeah, the whole entire town
for being greedy.
Yep. Oh, and also the Ghost of Yet to Come.
Yep.
Yep, that's a good one. So, I'm going to be just reading off of this article because I found it actually a really, really good article by Tanya Basu. It is from it's on the National Geographic website, and the article is "Who is Krampus? Explaining the Horrific Christmas Beast." So, if you want to go and read the article for yourself, this is where it is. All right, so Krampus isn't exactly the stuff of dreams. Bearing horns, dark hair, fangs, and a long tongue, the anti-Saint Nicholas comes with a chain and bells that he lashes about, along with a bundle of birch sticks meant to swat naughty children. He then hauls the bad kids down to the underworld. You better watch out. In Catholicism, Saint Nicholas is the patron saint of children. His saint's day falls in early December, which helped strengthen his association with the Yuletide season. Many European cultures not only welcome the kindly man as a figure of generosity and benevolence to reward the good, but they also feared his menacing counterparts who punished the bad. Parts of Germany and Austria dread the beastly Krampus, while other Germanic regions have Belsnickel and Knecht Ruprecht, black-bearded men who carry switches to beat children. France has Hans Trapp and Père Foutard. Some of these helpers, such as Zwarte Piet in the Netherlands, have attracted recent controversy. So, Hans Trapp and Père Foutard are basically the French versions of Belsnickel and Knecht Ruprecht. They basically did the same thing. Krampus's name is derived from the German word Krampen, meaning claw, and is said to be the son of hell in Norse mythology. Yeah,
so it is Norse.
Yeah, he's Norse and German.
Cool.
Yeah, I thought that was really, really cool. The legendary beast also shares characteristics with other scary demonic creatures in Greek mythology, including satyrs and fauns. So Krampus is just
You mean satyrs?
Satyrs, yeah, satyrs.
Oh, I thought you were saying a name for a second there was like satyrs.
No. But I think that's cool. Like, Krampus is fucking, like, all over the place.
Yeah.
Like, and I just thought it was so cool that he's actually a big part of Norse mythology, that being the son of hell.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, well.
I also kind of like the fact that, like, the Bahamut statue from the Satanic Temple is also basically like Krampus, except with the man torso.
Well, and what's cool is, like, Krampus doesn't actually have a birth date. Like, no one knows exactly where he came from and, like, where the
maybe that's why
really
he's so
started.
pissed.
Yeah,
because nobody can remember his birthday.
No one remembers my birthday. Everyone just sets me before Santa Claus. It's not even that. It's fucking June 1st.
I'm a June baby.
Yeah, I'm a Gemini. Look at me. Of course, I would be an air thing.
You know, us Geminis, we're so kooky.
Yeah.
Not like any astrology sign has ever said that before.
I know, not ever. All right. The legend is part of a centuries-old Christmas tradition in Germany, where Christmas celebrations begin in early December. Krampus was created as a counterpart to kindly Saint Nicholas, who rewarded children with sweets. Krampus, in contrast, would swat wicked children, stuff them in a sack, and take them away to his lair. According to folklore, Krampus purportedly shows up in towns the night of December 5th, known as Krampusnacht, or Krampus Night. The next day, December 6th, is Nikolaustag, or St. Nicholas Day, when children look outside to see their door if the shoe or boot they'd left out the night before contains either presents, a reward for good behavior, or a rod, bad behavior. For more on the history of St. Nicholas, go to the thing. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. I think that's kind of funny. I want to know where it went from a rod to coal. Do you think it was because parents are too afraid that their kid would take the rod and just beat the fuck out of them? Where's my presents?
I'm pretty sure it's more so that they were worried it would traumatize the kids too much.
They got a rod?
Yeah. I don't know, man. But maybe you're right,
coal?
too.
Because, I feel like it was just... it was a dad joke because the dad was like, fuck, the kid was shit this year.
I also wonder...
He sees his bag of coal and he's like, you know what? He can help me with the grill tomorrow.
I also maybe figured it was a parent that forgot. It was like, fuck, I didn't go to the store. We're all out of rods.
And he sees the charcoal briquettes and he's like, I think I got an idea.
Right, the wife, he's like, oh my god, Cheryl's gonna be so pissed if I don't figure this out. It's just like, wait a minute. This is just crazy enough to work. The next day, why is it, not that I should be complaining, because I mean, it's not a rod, but why is it coal?
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't hear, man? Yeah, to save on production costs, Krampus is now actually using coal. Come figure out, making the rods requires a lot of time and a lot of finances, and being an otherworldly monster
that's coming from hell.
Coal. It's really hard to get the funds for that, man. It just doesn't transfer through the gates of hell very well.
Yeah.
And there's just too many security checks. It's not
easier for him to carry a bag of coal than rods. Come on.
And there's coal just all around us.
He's lugging children also.
So it's super... It makes sense. Shut up.
And then he went and told his buddy Steve about it, and he was like, dude, it works so much better, and it's so much cheaper.
His buddy Steve actually came over.
Yeah, and so I was like, okay, where's your rod? Why is there a piece of coal?
And he's like, oh, do you mean, why is there not enough coal? Right? And he's like, yeah.
And then he just slowly spread that Santa brought coal instead of rods.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so...
And then Cheryl left him.
Yep. Fuck you, Cheryl. All right. A more modern take on the... Going back to the article. Yes. A more modern take on the tradition in Austria, Germany, Hungary, Slovenia, and the Czech Republic involves drunken men dressed as devils who take over the streets for a Krampuslauf, a Krampus run of sorts, when people are chased through the streets by the devils.
Also known as when the Bills win a game.
Why scare children with a demonic pagan monster? God damn it! I felt like that's what happened at all the Bud Light things in Cleveland.
Yeah.
When they're like, look, when Budweiser was like, look, if the Browns can win at least one game, the entire city's gonna get free beer. And then the Browns won that game, and they're like, fuck. And you just hear the just like one of those moments like in cartoons where you just slowly hear the stampede.
Yeah.
And then you hear...
They just come over the horizon.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of dudes without shirts with their bellies painted.
All the orange and brown. They won! They're fucking holding the mascot's bulldog head on a stick. Oh
my god, they're serious.
Yeah.
How much beer do we have? Not enough, sir.
Not enough.
And then play the cliche joke of the band playing.
From
it's been an honor playing with you, gentlemen.
Alright, back to the article again. Why scare children with a demonic pagan monster? Maybe it's a way for humans to get in touch with their animalistic side, which such impulses may be about assuming a dual personality. See? Fucking Gemini. According to Antonio Cornero, who spoke to National Geographic magazine about revitalized pagan traditions, the person dressed as the beast becomes mysterious, he said. Krampus's frightening presence was suppressed for many years. The Catholic Church forbade the raucous celebrations, and fascists in World War II Europe found Krampus despicable because it was considered a creation of the Social Democrats. Oh yeah, fucking Democrats do it all, don't they?
You okay there?
No, it's just funny that they're like, the fucking Democrats made up a demon, so we gotta kill it.
I don't know, man. Now the Democrat Party's sounding kind of cool.
I know, right? But Krampus has been having a resurgence over the past few years, thanks partly to a bah humbug attitude in pop culture. Very true. A bah humbug attitude. With people searching for ways to celebrate the Yuletide season in non-traditional ways. In the United States, people are embracing the dark side of Krampus with Krampus movies, special Krampus television episodes. They're throwing Krampus parties, attending local Krampusnacht in cities like Washington D.C. and New Orleans. Holy shit, there's one in New Orleans. Fuck the one in Athens. I'm going to that one. And running in Krampus-themed races. For its part, Austria is attempting to commercialize the harsh persona of Krampus by selling chocolates, figurines, and collectible horns. There are already complaints that Krampus is becoming too commercialized and losing his edge because of his newfound popularity.
Oh, hey man, I think Santa's had a good run. Shed
Yeah,
some light on
like-
someone else.
Yeah, seriously, I actually totally agree with that. Especially like something more horror-esque. I think that'd be really cool for that.
Also, Krampus isn't real either.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, if like you're in a car with kids, and first of all, you should not be playing us in the whole car for your kids to hear. So if they're cussing now, it's your fault.
Yeah, that's on you.
Second of all, if we just kind of ruined for your kids that Santa isn't real.
That's your bad. We were saying we're talking about holiday lore.
And if we ruined that Santa isn't real for you, then I'm actually really sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. But,
yeah. I'm not.
So grow up!
Own it! But yeah, so I thought that I was super excited to talk about Krampus finally. He's like my favorite lore.
Yeah, man.
So, and I just thought, like, researching into it, finding out that he's also crossing over into from Norse mythology, pagan mythology, Greek even.
He's going places.
Like, yeah, he's really going places. He's a very cultural lore.
He's just like on an interview, like on like fucking I don't know Dateline or
yeah.
Probably we'll make a Dateline. And he's like wearing glasses and like has like a scarf. He's like
he looks like Joaquin Phoenix when Joaquin Phoenix was pretending to give up acting to start a rap career and just all scraggly wearing glasses, looks all drunk, just fucking like barely crossing his arms. Yeah, man, fucking.
Like he's very sophisticated and they ask him, Krampus, where do you get your influence for how you do your work? And he sits there and he just like takes a drink of his Earl Grey tea, puts it down and goes, when I think of my work as Krampus, I'd like to imagine what the people would imagine Krampus doing.
Like, is he really gonna beat that kid with those rose bushes, or is he just gonna eat him?
Or is it gonna give him coal? That's what I aim for, and that's what I'm good at. It's an art, really.
Yeah. And I have to decide how bad the child is, like how far am I going to take this? Is he going to have another chance?
Right. And then he pulls out like a child's arm and eats it.
Yeah.
As like a snack.
And they're like, "Oh my god!" It's like, no, don't worry. This kid was killing small animals.
This kid was going to be Hitler too.
Yeah, he was the new Hitler. Trust me.
Hitlerine.
I am I am basically Satan. Don't worry about it. But
should we report him? I'm a demon.
How do you think what's going to happen here? You think the cops are going to get me? Come on. I mean, look, your child's in here, Timmy. And he's like, well, maybe if you paid more attention to little Timmy, he wouldn't be choking out little squirrels, now would he?
Now, if you excuse me, I have a spin class in an hour.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be so great. Or I could also see him, like, after he sips his Earl Grey tea, he goes like, well, let me ask you, Sharon, how do you take your work seriously? Sitting here and just talking to people.
Sharon.
What is Dateline?
As he's, like, putting his hands together and pointing at them, there's like, is Sharon a person or a thought?
Yes.
And that's like the real terror Krampus. He's just a douchebag.
Yeah. They're not really children. They're actually just snowmen made of cotton candy and shit. Just scared them. You got Tom Savini to do the makeup for it.
Tom Savini's my cousin.
But no, then also the cool thing about doing the research for this was like it was just cool learning about new lore.
Yeah.
Like especially around the holidays, because everyone always thinks. Like, honestly, Belschnickel is fairly popular, especially because of The Office. Also, there's a Belschnickel ugly sweater. I must have it.
Yeah.
I already have a Krampus ugly sweater. I want to get the Belschnickel one, especially because it's Dwight Schrute saying, Belschnickel is here!
Oh, yeah. I totally forgot that was an episode of The Office. That's right.
That's so bad.
That episode was really fucking funny, dude. You just reminded me of that.
Naughty!
And he like has like the actual switches and he's flagging.
Yeah, and it's like, what the fuck, Dwight? He's like, I'm Belschnickel, no Dwight Schrute.
Oh god.
Oh my god, I love that shit so much. So much. But yeah, but like learning about the Yuletide cat, I have never heard of, and it's just kind of cool. As always, doing my research, especially on topics that you wouldn't think there would be a lot of horror. Finding horror in those it's fantastic. Yeah. Especially like as someone as like saintly as Saint Nick, knowing that he has actually all these dark essences that follow him around and stuff. Because it's true, you need to have the joy, you need the sadness.
Yeah,
you know. So that's what I've liked the most about this, and honestly, like being able to pick up on all the research, just kind of like as an end of the year wrap up. Yeah. Being able to pick up more on the research again this year was like a lot. Like I was so happy about that because like I know you kind of like had shouldered a lot of the load for a while, and like I do thank you for that, and that's like something I love. Even though before we get to the other one, because you already said it in Friday's episode, but something I love is like been able to do this podcast with you too, and how much you've helped, like been able to help me out with like getting my shit done for the podcast, and same with you, and you having to do all the driving this time.
Anytime.
Just like I was doing all the driving last time and stuff. Like, just us being able to make it work and make it work for all of you listeners, and you guys mean a lot to us.
And it's like what I said, man. That is devotion.
Yeah.
The past few episodes ago, we talked about that. Yeah. And I think devotion and appreciation is what we shall end on, being that we are always and continuing devoted to bring the best in horror and to be one of the biggest names in the horror community. We're going to keep pushing ourselves to do that and bringing the most entertaining content we can to all of you ghouls and gals and creeps and mutants, and we appreciate your support so much. We appreciate the living hell out of all of you, especially, just how much you guys will still stick by us through our hard moments and all of our good moments. And, we love hearing from you, and we love just kind of doing this for you and just love in general, man. Yeah. All, pessimism aside and cynicism and all that shit, we love the living shit out of you ghouls and gals and creeps and mutants. And as always, keep following us on our Facebook, on our Twitter, and our Instagram. You should know it all by now. If not, it is in the links below. And again, if you want to consider supporting the show, please do so. A big thank you to also Lala and Gwynny and the Punk Rock Half Hour Power for coming on and jumping on as well. They have been amazing. We recently came out an episode with them where I jumped on and got to talk with them about holiday horror as well. So please check that out. And also a big, huge thank you to Aaron McGarry, who runs and hosts the Paranormal Princess podcast, which I will always encourage all of you ghouls and gals to check out. Please do so.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
It's very
she does really great with it.
Yeah, she's fantastic and a total badass herself. I also want to give another huge thanks out to Big Boot Studio on Instagram for making our new intro. We are working with him for next year's intro, and he's a fan of the show as well, and it's just kind of really opportune timing all around. So thank you to Big Boot Studio for our intro. Also thank you to our artist Megan for making our art, and also another thank you out to Ether's Oath LLC for taking on our merch. That will still come out here at the end of November, so don't worry. Even though we're not putting out content in December, you can still buy merch from us. And also, lastly, I want to thank all the patrons on our Patreon. Thank you so much for continuing to support the show.
Thank you guys so much.
It means a lot to us. It means the world to us, and we can't wait to get these mystery boxes out to all of you. And thank you again to just everyone in general so much from the bottom of our hearts. We will talk to you on Friday's episode. Podcast over.
Podcast over.
Bye.
Boy.